Hello, my friends. Are there times in your life, maybe even now, when you feel stuck? You feel like you've hit a dead end. And maybe you're struggling to have hope. Maybe you find yourself at times despairing, or maybe at least just giving into great discouragement every day. That sometimes can be part of our lives, these moments when we feel stuck and discouraged and even despairing. We feel like we're losing hope and there's no way out. We can all have moments like this. Pope Leo, every Wednesday, the Pope gives what's called a general audience, and he's been giving these beautiful teachings on the parables and the healings of Jesus particularly. And in one of the audiences, he talked about the paralyzed man who had been laying at the Pool of Siloam, this pool that had people came to understand had healing powers. He had been there for 38 years. Can you imagine? This man had been paralyzed, laying there for years. And at that, moment, Christ comes to him, and Jesus says to him, do you want to be well? Think about that. We were like, well, of course I want to be well. But Pope Leo says something interesting. He says, well, maybe this man had lost that desire. For so long, this man had been sitting there. Jesus asks that man, do you want to be well? Not to taunt him, not to ask him an obvious question, but to awaken in his heart once again the desire that he may have lost. In other words, when we feel blocked, when we feel like we're at a dead end, and when we feel like we're so discouraged and we're in moments of darkness, maybe we've lost that spark of life in us. Maybe we've lost that desire to be well. So Jesus encounters this man and asks him, he says, look, do you want to be well? He awakens in that man once again that desire for life, that desire for healing. And that's what Christ wants to do with each of us. If we're feeling discouraged and blocked, or we feel like we're at a dead end, again, whatever we're going through, Jesus asks us that question today. He says, look, do you want to be well? And that question needs to prompt us to go to Jesus in prayer and to tell him, Lord, I want to be well. I want to be healed. I want to have your light. I want to have hope again. I don't want to give into discouragement. I don't want to give into despair. I want to have the energy of life again, Lord, that comes only from having a relationship with you. And so that's what I want to offer you today. Is sometimes the Lord allows us to go through moments of discouragement and darkness, moments where we feel blocked, like we're at a dead end. Sometimes he allows it, not that he wants it, but he allows it so that we can find in ourselves that spark of life that he has placed within us. Maybe that fire in us has grown dim. Jesus wants it to grow again, that fire of love in our hearts. That can only grow if we go to Jesus. So today, I want to encourage you, go to Jesus. Go to him in prayer. Talk to him. Tell him, Lord, tell him what you're feeling. And just know, as you talk to him, as you go to him in prayer, even if you don't feel like it, most of the time when we pray, we're not going to feel like it, but we go to him anyway. And that spark of life, that fire in us will grow. And we'll hear Jesus saying, do you want to be well? And we can say, yes, Lord. I want to be well. I want to be close to you. I want to be healed. I want to have your light. I want to have your peace. So don't give into discouragement. Don't give into despair. Don't give into the darkness that you might be feeling is surrounding you. Go to Jesus. Tell him your desires. Tell him you want to be well. Do that every day, and you will find that light and that peace growing in you once again. So until next time, may God bless you, and let's keep praying for one another.